So today we're going to be talking about how to attract clients and drive sales with the 2-3-10 strategy. Hi Lucy. So this is really exciting. How do I access StreamYard? There should just be a little link above this live stream if you're in the Facebook group, and you just click on it. Someone's saying it's 25 degrees where they are. Yeah, I think for some reason we've had the hottest weather in the UK. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe because we're in the middle. I'm near Oxford now, in Oxfordshire. But yes, so what's really exciting about today's training, and I'm so glad to have so many of you here today with me live. I know lots of people are going to be on catching the replay as well. This is a strategy that I have taught for many years. So probably even going back, I think, to my first signature program, which was How to Shine Online. So I don't know if anyone here was in How to Shine Online. But this was something that I first taught in that program probably at least 5 years ago. And it's something that I don't talk about a lot because it's always been a little bit tucked away. But I had a realization recently, and those who know me will know I love energy work and working with energy. And my whole philosophy of marketing and business growth is around energy first. So you work on your energy first and then you take the inspired action. So it's the being before the doing. And I had a realization that this is a part of my business that I had resisted. And so even though I taught it for a long time and it's been part of my programs for a long time, someone's saying, oh, well, don't worry, guys. Sorry if it's complicated. I had a few tech issues, so I didn't have a chance to test anything. So I thought I better just jump on. But yeah, I realized that I had been resisting doing some of this work. And while I'd been teaching this, and it was a process that I used, I realized I wasn't using it consistently myself until about 6 weeks ago. And it's something where I had periods of more activity, but then it would tail off again. And that's one of the, I'm going to talk about that as we go through, but that's something that I found. And of course, one of the, the gold at the end of the rainbow for us entrepreneurs is consistency, consistent income, consistent clients. Being able to have that certainty in our business that we know we've got a certain amount of money or we've got a certain amount of clients coming in every month or every week. But you only get consistency if you show up and you have a plan to be consistent. And I realized that was one of my big challenges. And so I've, put this process in place, and when I decided to run this class, I looked back at the worksheets and the notes and the way I've taught this before and my old slides and things. And I thought, gosh, yeah, this process has evolved so much in the last 6 weeks and it works. So that's why I'm really excited to share that with you guys today. So let me jump in. I've got some slides. Let me just see. I'm going to share my screen. Welcome, welcome. Let's talk about why this is important. I've given a little bit of a preface of that with my own story, but if you want consistent income, and I don't know about you, that's been my goal for so many years. I've always been able to make money in my business, but it was making, the 5-10K months consistently and being able to do it month after month after month rather than the, typical boom and bust. So if you want consistent income, you've got to be working on your audience growth, your engagement, and your sales consistently. And this is something that it seems that it's quite hard to do. So what I'm finding is having a strategy, having a framework, and I'll show you how it works in a moment, gives you that structure, but it's not so constricting that you feel like everything's, you're not being forced to do things in a certain way, but you've got a framework to build consistency and to be doing your audience growth, engagement, and sales consistently. What this allows you to do as well, this framework, this 2-3-10, because it's so simple, it's almost easy to, and I think in my mind I'd maybe done this in the past, it's so simple I'd almost glossed over it in my mindset as being, you know, not important, or I hadn't given it the importance that actually now I'm realizing it should have had. Because you can work smarter, because what you're doing when you use this strategy is, rather than trying to market to all of social media, which is, you know, the analogy I always use is, it's like you've got a megaphone and you're shouting out, you know, to a big stadium full of thousands and thousands of people. That's really hard work, and unless you've got a big name, unless you're an influencer and you've got a big name, you're just not going to be seen or heard. And that's when people say they feel invisible and they don't seem heard on social media, because you're trying to broadcast out to, you know, this massive audience. So what we, with the 2, 3, 10, we're actually focusing down onto the people that want to hear from us. And what that also does is it works the algorithm in your favor. And what I didn't put on these slides, but I'm going to tell you now, is this strategy works on any platform. So you can be using Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, you know, whatever, whichever thread, whatever platform, you know, you love and you, that fits your personality, your energetic profile the best. This strategy works, and all the platforms have got an algorithm. So this strategy is working the algorithm in your favor. So it's like a double whammy. You're getting that flywheel, that momentum going. You're focusing on your most you know, your highest potential clients. And actually that's why I've got the little target here down at the bottom right hand side. If you think about your audience, there are 3 levels of audience, very broadly speaking. So you've got the outside level, which is your cold audience, and that's the whole of social media, you know, 2 billion people, whatever it is at the moment. That is potentially your market. If you're on social media, you potentially can reach any of those people, right? That's the beauty of social media. But can you talk to 2 billion people? Are they even all your clients? No. So what we need to do, the next level in on this one, it's the sort of lovely, my favorite turquoisey color, tealy color. This is your warm audience. This is where it starts to get interesting. This is where we want to focus. It's just on our warm audience. And then of course, right in the middle, you've got your hot audience, your hot leads. And again, we want to be focusing on the hot leads. Your hot leads are people who are ready to buy. Your warm leads are, I always use the tomato analogy. So again, this is a really old post, but I ought to repost it. Your audience, your customers are like tomatoes. I think that's what it's called. It's a blog post. Your customers are like tomatoes. So some of them are ripe and ready to buy. They're the juicy red ones, and they're your hot leads. Then at the other end, you've got the little hard green ones that haven't really done very much yet. Those are your cold leads. We're not going to worry about them. They're not ready for you yet. But in the middle, you've got a spectrum, haven't you, of warm leads, which is anything from like the greeny orange up to that red. That is where we are focusing. So if you think about who those people are, it's not a massive step to then think about the strategies to reach those people. And that's what this 2, 3, 10 strategy helps you to do. But also it means that you're showing up authentically and in integrity. We're not talking about any sleazy, salesy tactics here. This isn't about spamming and cold DMing and any of that stuff. This is about you showing up in your full power with squeaky clean energy. And squeaky clean energy means that you're just fully aligned, you're fully compatible with what you're sharing, how you show up, the types of people you want to work with, and there's no woolliness, there's no feeling uncomfortable. You are totally, I'm trying not to use the word aligned, but it is aligned with your values, with your integrity, and marketing in a way that feels really natural and comfortable. So who likes the sound of that? Just give me a thumbs up if you like the sound of that. And of course, the reason it's important to have squeaky clean energy is because that energy is what attracts clients to you. That's what makes you magnetic. People love squeaky clean energy. what turns people off is when your energy is wishy-washy. It might work, it might not, or I'm not quite sure if my audience is this or that. You know, that sort of hesitation is wishy-washy energy. So just to introduce myself to those of you who don't know me, I'm Cassie. I've got a career in marketing. I'm also a spiritual mentor. So I'm a 2-4 manifesting generator in human design. And my background is I started a marketing agency from scratch as a single mom, built it up to 6 figures, completely bootstrapped it from nothing, working with clients, and built it up from doing sort of done-for-you social media content at the beginning up to running sort of big tens of thousands of pounds worth per month of ad campaigns for bigger clients. So that was my sort of journey over about 8 years, and I had a team working with me then. And that was fantastic. I was making my, 10K plus consistent months running the agency. So I ticked off that goal. But even though it's funny, isn't it? Sometimes you set a goal and then when you achieve it, you think, there's still something that's missing. And for me, the missing part was the spiritual side. I was spending all my time managing my team of 8 people. I just felt like it wasn't entirely, I'd been there, I'd done it, I'd been very successful, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. So I went on more of a spiritual journey, and I actually, although I've always been very intuitive, I hadn't really embraced that as part of my business. But I'm a certified energy practitioner now, and my mission is to empower entrepreneurial women to create business and life, but, on your own terms, working with your energy. And, using these principles I'm teaching you, and which I've recently rebranded as the Soulfire, soul being soul and fire being action, bringing those pieces together, the marketing strategy and the energy work, Soulfire, has enabled me to, I've bought my dream house. It's a project house, absolutely loving it. I'm loving my business. I'm working with amazing clients, and this stuff works, and it's just, I love how we can work with energy and keep evolving and growing, and I'm excited to be sharing that with you guys. So let's have some context first of all. So where does this 2-3-10 strategy, engagement strategy, fit into the overall map of creating clients? So I put together this really whizzy-dizzy Soulfire Client Attraction Academy roadmap to 5K months consistently. I need to add the word consistently in there. And as you can see, the 2-3-10 is here. It's under lead creation. This is our strategy for creating leads, but also taking leads through into sales. So this is about creating leads, also converting leads into sales. But we're not doing this in a spammy way. We're doing this in a very aligned, natural, comfortable way. And so we cover some of that in the energetic side here. But what we're doing with this strategy is we're starting to create the core part of what I call an engagement engine, which you can see also drives audience growth and visibility. So really, rather than a roadmap, this probably should be a jigsaw puzzle, and these pieces all fit together in the jigsaw puzzle. But my mind, I'm very visual. I like to see things visually laid out rather than a clump of stuff in jigsaw pieces. So we always start with the energy first in the Soulfire process. And then it is really important that you've got a couple of things in place. And if you don't have these completely nailed down, I have got other trainings in the group that will help you with these. So if you need help with clarity or creating an aligned offer, just type clarity or offer in the comments and I'll send you the link to those trainings. But it is really important that you have clarity on, I call it TOM, so your target audience, your offer and your message. So not to say that you can't create leads without those pieces, but it's harder because again, we want your energy to be squeaky clean. So to have squeaky clean energy, you've got to have clarity. Those pieces go together. Even though they're different things, they fit together. So just make sure before you launch off into your lead generation that you're really clear who you're talking to, what you're offering them, and what's your message to them. So let's assume you've got those pieces in place. As I say, if you haven't, let me know and I'll send you the trainings to them I've done separately. Now you're ready to build your client attraction system, your lead creation. I don't really like the word engine, but let's call it an engine. And that's what we're going to start to do. And what I've done actually in the Soulfire Academy is to bring this piece of the process forward so that you start creating leads even as you're putting the other pieces in place, because there's nothing to say you've got to do, you know, 3 steps before you can do this. So I'm really keen for people to be creating leads early doors, seeing results, seeing that momentum build, seeing that audience, see your audience growing, seeing that visibility growing as well. Hope that makes sense. That's just a blown up actually version of the previous slide, so hopefully you can see that clearly. So here's the 2, 3, 10 here. You see there's other things involved, but that's this strategy is the really sort of linchpin of everything, I think. You've got create an engagement engine, which is the next step, what we're doing today, and then obviously we've got the, you know, the energy behind that selling process as well. Okay, so 2, 3, 10, let's jump into what this strategy is and how it works. Who would like the worksheet? I did a lovely worksheet I presented this live at a meeting actually, this strategy, and we did some live examples and people did live sort of plan for their own business. If you'd like the worksheet, just type worksheet in the comments, put your name so I know who to send it to, and I'll send you the worksheet. So just a few principles on the 2, 3, 10. As I said, we never cold message people. This isn't about find a list of people and start messaging them cold stuff. No, 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 no. But we have to be proactive. And I think sometimes that's the piece that people can find hard. I know it's a piece that I wasn't doing consistently. And we're also being very strategic. And what I mean by being strategic is that we are outreaching, but only to warm and hot leads who are your soulmate clients. That's where the clarity piece comes in. So we're only focusing on those 2 middle layers of that target, the warm leads, so the orange tomatoes, and the hot leads, the red tomatoes. And if you love human design like I do, you'll understand if you're a generator or a manifesting generator, what I'm teaching here is the perfect way to be to be responding. Okay, so this is you being able to use the in response to strategy. So considering about 75–80% of the world of generators are manifesting generators, that's going to probably apply to most of the people on this call. And if you're not, don't worry, this still works. But you just obviously don't have to respond in the same way. So because we're being very strategic and very intentional with our strategy here, it actually saves you loads and loads of time. I'm doing a lot more in my business, but I'm not working as many hours. So how cool is that? And the strategy is about creating meaningful connections and conversations. And guess what? This is where working the algorithm comes in. Facebook and Instagram, they reward you for having meaningful conversations with people. Facebook wants you to have communication and meaningful connections and conversations with people. So not only does this strategy help you generate leads, you're also being rewarded by, by the social media platforms themselves. And what I would say to you is to engage without expectation of selling. So this is about building a community of warm leads rather than I'm going to sell something. So that is, a bit of a mindset shift here as well. I think sometimes when people think about engagement and driving sales, it's, and they're coming from a mindset of, I'm going to sell something. I would say to you to think of this that's why I call it an engagement strategy. It will drive sales, but let's not make that our primary intention. Let's make the intention to build a warm audience of potential clients and to build meaningful connections with people. So here's where I want you guys to grab a piece of paper and a pen, and let's have a bit of fun together. I'm going to have to go out of the slides to go into the comments. Let's brainstorm some engagement strategies. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, about 12 on my list, but before I share them with you, I want to just get the thought process going with you guys, because my 12 might be, some of them will overlap, I'm sure, but the strategies I use won't necessarily be the same as the ones that you use, because we're going to have our own strategy. And you don't have to do all of these every day. I know when I teach any sort of marketing and there's any sort of a list, people think, you know, the overwhelm comes up straight away and people think, oh my gosh, I've got to do 12 things. No, you don't have to do 12 things. That's the whole point. But we want to have ideas to draw from. So grab a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to start to jot down, or you can share in the comments, some different ways that you engage with your audience. Come up with some engagement strategies. So share in the comments, if you would, what type of engagement strategies are you using any at the moment? So let me give you some examples and say the beauty of these is that you can use them on any platform. So if you have a Facebook group, anyone that joins your Facebook group is someone that you should be engaging with, right? Someone that joins your Facebook group is a warm lead. Now, if you want, I did a separate training on leads, how you track leads, how you categorize leads. If you want that, type leads in the comments. I'll send you the link to the leads training. And if you've got that list of who your leads are, it makes this process much easier, but we're going to go through it anyway. The other type of leads, the other type of people to engage with is anyone that is commenting on your posts. Anyone that is commenting on your story. So if you do a story and you use the poll feature and you're saying, you know, what do you think, A or B, or you've got one of those sliders with the emoji, anyone that engages with your story with that poll is a warm lead. That person is interested in what you're doing. So that's somebody you're going to want to engage with. Same on your Facebook page, same with your Instagram. So somebody's saying here, lives, videos, polls, written posts. Okay, so that's you putting content out, but I'm talking about you proactively engaging with people. I'll be able to see when I get into the group afterwards. So let's say Facebook Lives. If anyone is watching your live, they are someone to engage with. So you'll want to go and engage with them. If you ask people, so for example, in this session, I'm saying, you know, type worksheet if you want the worksheet. Anyone that's typing worksheet is a warm or probably even a hot lead, because they're, A, you're here on this call, so you're interested in what I'm doing, and B, you're actively engaging, and C, you want more information. So think about in your business, where can you be engaging with people? Now, what about if you run events? So again, in a group or on your Facebook page, if you run an event, anyone that signs up for your event or expresses interest or says, you know, I might be coming or I'm coming, they are someone to engage with. Let's have a look. Videos. Yeah, so if you make a video and people are commenting, people are liking, people are requesting your slides or what have you, they're people to engage with. So is this making sense? And I'll show you how to narrow it down, how to get more strategic in a moment. Someone's saying, I don't get engagement ever. Okay, so that is an issue with content, because the way that you're creating these warm leads is through your content. So you need lead creation content. Again, I've done a separate training on that. So if you're not getting any engagement, then it's either your content or, again, look at your clarity. Are you clear on your TOM, your target audience, your offer and your message? And look at what you're posting. Because if you're posting what your audience wants, then you'll be getting engagement. So not to say I don't want you to feel like you're doing anything wrong, but if you're not getting engagement, then there's something that's needs to be tweaked or needs to be looked at. The other type of person to engage with, and I'm going to try again in a minute to go back into the slides, hopefully it'll work this time, are people that you know that are your soulmate clients. So they meet the criteria of who your soulmate clients is. And, you'd categorize them as hot leads. So those are the people that you want to be engaging with. So you want to be engaging with their posts. You want to be taking interest in what they're doing. You want to be creating in a very casual way. If they ask for information, then you might message them. So when I do trainings now, I offer them and I say to people, PM me or comment for the link. And then when people comment, I send them the link. So then I'm messaging people, but I'm not cold messaging, I'm responding. Do you see the difference? So I'm engaging, but in a very responsive, intentional, strategic way. And I'm only engaging with people that want what I'm offering. So you can see how you get more and more and more refined. So let's make a list. So are you getting ideas for people to engage with? So I've got 12 on my list. So the ones I've got on my list to run through, and I want you to say, again, this isn't about giving you a list of things you need to do. This is about you creating your own list, but you can take inspiration from some of the suggestions. And I want you to think about how you're doing your marketing and think about your potential clients and think about the ways that you can engage. So I've got people who join your group, if you've got a Facebook group, people who comment on your posts, and that can be people who comment on your personal profile or your page or in your group. It doesn't matter where they comment. If someone's taking the time to comment and they fit your criteria of a soulmate client, a dream client, they're someone you should be engaging with. So I'll give you an example. A couple of weeks ago, I did a really fun, it was a Friday fun thing of, I created characters for each of the human design profile types. I had a masculine energy and a feminine energy character, from a movie. And I put a post up saying who'd like to know who their character is in human design based on your profile. Well, I had nearly 200 people commenting on that post and asking me, am I Yoda or am I Princess Leia? And it was really, really fun. All of those people are potential leads. And of course, I was doing that in the run up to I did a 3-part human design, marketing by human design training. So I then went and I went back and I engaged with all of those 200 people. And first, I had a look to see whether they were the sort of people I wanted to work with. Not all of them were, but the ones that fitted my profile of a soulmate client. I went and I engaged with them, and obviously they'd asked me to send information, so I sent them their character. I did it as a GIF, so it was quite fun. It was all animated. I then went back and said, I'm running this training. Is that something you'd like information on? Some said yes, some said no, some said not at the moment. But the whole point is that with all of those people, I had interaction. In fact, even recently, people are still messaging saying, I'm sorry, I've been really busy, but I'd really like to know, send me the link to your training. So even if people didn't respond at the time, I'm still getting that tail end of engagement now, maybe it was even like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I can't remember. So do you see how that works? Give me an inspiring idea with my crystals. Yeah. So that's something you can do, but you've got to be creating that content to get people to engage with you so that you can, if you're a manifesting generator, so that you can then respond, if that makes sense. So this is where you've got to have, you've got to have your content. But I assume that most of you here are putting out content on social media anyway. But the missing step is then going engaging with people and engaging meaningfully rather than trying to talk to everybody. So here's some other types of people to engage with potentially, some ideas for you. People that sign up for your lead magnets. So if you are putting out a lead magnet, where you've got a guide or a taster session, or I do energy activations, I've got my daily 333 guide that I offer a lot. Anything like that you're putting out that people sign up for. So what I also do, and here's an idea for some of you that have an email list, is I look at the people that click through on my links to my email. So when I send emails out, I have different links in there to different things. I have a really good open rate actually on my email list, but I don't just look at people that open my email. I'm interested in people that are actually clicking through. So I look and I say, okay, that person clicked on and asked and is interested in human design. So they go on my leads tracker as a human design lead. That person was looking at the Soulfire Academy. Okay, that's someone that's interested in Soulfire Client Attraction. That person was looking at the lead generation training. Do you see? And then I'm going onto social media and engaging with those people. So anyone that signs up for your lead magnets, so anyone, if you've got an email list, the people that are clicking through, and you can see what people are interested in. People that are interested in your events. Again, if you've got an event like this one is around engagement and driving sales, I know that people interested in this event are going to be interested in Soulfire Client Attraction Academy, because this is one piece of that bigger puzzle. People engage with your stories and reels. So if you are doing stories and reels on Facebook or Instagram, or shorts on YouTube, people that engage with those, check if they're your soulmate client. Those are people to then go and engage with. People that watch your live streams, comment, ask for information. Anyone that's commenting on your videos and live streams, anyone that's clicking through on your emails, and anyone that is a soulmate client and a hot lead. So that might be people that you meet offline. That might be people that you are in groups with, for example. So there's lots of different entry points to engage with people. So here is the 2-3-10 strategy. It's so simple, so don't underestimate the power. 2 platforms. So I want you to pick 2 platforms to focus on. Facebook and Instagram go together. YouTube and LinkedIn go together. So I would pick one of those, but just pick 2. Don't try and do all the platforms, otherwise it's overwhelming. 3 engagement strategies a day and 10 to 15 minutes a day. So that's where the 2-3-10 comes from. Now, what I would say, a little bit of a caveat to this, is if this is new to you and you haven't been doing engagement, or you're launching something, or you're trying to get your business off the ground, or you want more money coming in faster, you might want to do more than 10 to 15 minutes a day. You might want to up this, but this is what I'd call maintenance mode, is the 2-3-10. So once you've got things up and running where you want them, you literally can just focus on 2 platforms, 3 engagement strategies a day, and 10 to 15 minutes, and that's it. So you can do that first thing in the morning, end of the day. I tend to do my engagement more in the afternoon because the morning is my sort of creative time. But obviously pick the time that works best for you. And here's where the consistency comes in. If you do the 2-3-10 every single day, you will be amazed at the momentum that builds up, how quickly it builds up, how laser focused you are, and the impact. So you'll have consistent engagement and consistent sales. And it literally, this is like getting the flywheel going, getting that engine turning. And you can work it as hard and fast as you want to, or you can, the 2-3-10 is enough by itself. You don't have to go crazy. So any questions on that? Oh, good. it's inspired me for my happiness archetype quiz. Yeah, you could do Facebook and YouTube. Yes, you can do anything you want, because I'm all about you do what works best for you and your energy. Good. I'm glad I've inspired someone for their happiness archetype quiz. Is the time per platform or in total? That's a really good question. I would say probably per platform. And to be honest, if you are starting out, I would even maybe just do one platform. When I'm really busy, I just focus on Facebook, and then I'm doing my posting on the other platforms, but I'm not engaging on all the platforms, even on 2. But 1, 3, 10 doesn't have quite the same ring to it, does it? So that's why I called it 2, 3, 10. Yeah, it is. It is doable. It's very doable. And I say, because you're working the algorithm in your favor, and because you are just focusing on your warm and hot leads, it's really focused, but really, really effective. I mean, I know I keep saying that, but I can't emphasize that enough, really. Okay, so just to finish off, I want to let you know that the doors to the Soulfire Client Attraction Academy are open, currently on pre-sale, and the Soulfire Client Attraction Academy has been created. It's built on the aligned marketing. It's been completely evolved and upgraded. We've got a 6-week live round coming up soon, and in the academy you are taken through the 6 modules. You can see the 6 modules here. You can see the steps. And actually what I've done is I've created this roadmap. So everyone that joins the academy gets this roadmap. And you can see there's little icons here. It's probably hard to see, but you can see little icons. Each one of these is a link to a video resource, a training, or other resources, worksheets, templates, scripts. So you can go to that part. So this 2, 3, 10 I'm doing today will go into the 2, 3, 10 strategy, but you can see there's lots of other pieces. If you already have those pieces in place, then you don't need to spend the time. So you don't need to watch all of the videos. You jump in where you are. And actually what I'm doing with new clients at the moment is to do an onboarding call, a strategy call, to help people to make sure they've got their clarity offer message nailed down, and to start creating this lead creation machine, and also to help with this content piece, that you're creating content that's going to get you positioned to get the engagement, to create the sales. Because this engine, this client attraction engine, the content piece is really, really critical. To do what we've been talking about today, you've got to have that content. About 80% of what I do with content is repurposed. So I teach you how to do that as well. So you don't have to be creating tons of content, but got to have some content, and also know how to be repurposing that so you can sort of show up in lots of different places. And then of course we've got the energy piece which runs through the whole program. So if you're ready to create a steady stream of soulmate clients and consistent income, that's what you will be able to do in the program, but you're not doing it alone. You're doing it with some amazing women. There's already 12 amazing souls in the program, and really the program's structured for you to meet your goals. For me, the starting point is to help people get to 5K months and then go beyond that. Just want to share with you what some of the current members are saying in the group. We've got members, Owen picked up 16 new clients and a high ticket client in 1 month. There was Elaine previously who got 7 clients in a week. Nolene got 2 clients straight after taking the marketing audit, and that's part of the onboarding process. Ellen is here today, launching a really exciting new program, working on her content. Alina got 10 new members for her program. So everybody's doing really, really well, and we're going to be diving into this engagement strategy and actually, I'll be working with everybody really, really closely. We have monthly coaching calls and implementation days. So every other week we have either a coaching call or an implementation session where we put these things into practice, and we keep the momentum going, because I know personally I found it quite hard to keep the consistency and the momentum going just working on my own. But being in a group where other people are working together is just, it's very empowering, and it's very, you know, you feel very supported. And you can see here there's some member feedback here from lovely members of the group at the moment. And I love this one. The best thing about the Soulfire Client Attraction Academy is an incredible amount of support, built-in accountability and reminders to stay focused. So you're not just given the strategies and the templates and the training and then you're left. I'm actually supporting you the whole way through. So the doors are open. What's included? We've got 2 6-week live rounds in every 12-month period. So it's October and March. So the next one's coming up very soon. End of this month, beginning of October. Monthly coaching calls, the implementation sessions. For example, I did a 3-part series on marketing by human design. We did a really deep dive into human design. That's one of the bonuses of the program. The Energy Alignment Academy is a bonus of the program. Offer and content reviews. So when you're working on your offers, when you're working on your content, your lead creating content, myself and the other people in the group are actually looking at that. I'm doing reviews of your content and your offers. So you get my feedback and feedback from other people in the group. And then of course new trainings as they're added. And someone said here, using the Soulfire Client Attraction process, I'm now working in alignment with my natural personality and energetic blueprint, and it's so freeing. And that's, you know, it's working in that very natural, easy way. So if you're interested in the Soulfire Academy, it's on special. There's $1,000 off. So it's, I thought I'd put the price on here. It's $1,111, $1,111 at the moment on pre-sale, which is about half price. So just let me know if you'd like details for that. Huge light bulb moment. Debbie, yay, that's fantastic. Is this the roadmap for the course I've just paid for? I'm not sure who's asking it, but yes, if you are in my program, then yes, that is the roadmap that you're going to get. And what's amazing about the roadmap is that you can actually track your progress through the different steps and milestones. So you know exactly where you are. Because I think sometimes, you know, when we think, oh, I want to create 10K months, for example, you know, selling on social media or filling my events, it's easy to, you know, that's quite a journey to go from wherever you are to that end point. And there's lots of steps in between, and I think sometimes we don't give ourselves credit and we don't celebrate those smaller steps. So with the roadmap, you can actually see, I've got clarity on my offer now. I've got this amazing, amazing offer, that is so valuable. And that is a massive thing to be celebrating, you know, because that then is the jumping off point for the next step. And then you can really start selling. So I wanted to have a way to not only help people through the process, but also so that you can feel that achievement, and it's good for your energy to know that you're succeeding as you go along. So any last questions? I'm really excited about the light bulb moment. I shall ask you more about that, Debbie. Anyone got any questions? Do you all have an idea for your own 2, 3, 10 strategy? So of the things I've suggested and the things that you've hopefully written down, pick your 2 platforms, pick your 3 different engagement strategies, and commit to your 10 to 15 minutes per day. Thank you for being here live. Oh, I'm getting a thumbs up. Thank you very much. I'm going to go and sit in front of a fan, I think, in a moment. Thank you for being here live. I really appreciate your time and attention, and I will speak to you all soon. All right, guys, take care. Bye then.